Hello viewers, this is Grandmaster RB Ramesh again from Chess Gurukul, and this is my 10-year-old son Karthik Ramesh. Hello Karthik.
Hello.
Yeah. So in the previous video, we learned how to move the pieces, especially the king, queen, rook, bishop, how they move we saw in the previous video in the part 2. In the part 1 we had seen how to set up a chessboard and how to identify each piece like the king, queen, bishop, rook and knight and the pawns and their values. This is what we had learned from the part 1 and of the series. In the part 2, like I explained, we saw how king, queen, rook and bishop move. In today's session, we are going to learn about how a knight and a pawn can move. Now, I am making a separate video for the knight and pawn because it is slightly tricky. Okay,
Yeah.
so that is why I'm making this video separately for knight and pawn. So let us go to the knight first. Now, the knight, this is called a knight. Some people call it a horse, but in chess language, it is generally called a knight. It's not N-I-G-H-T, it is K-N-I-G-H-T. Okay, so that you need to remember. Fine. So let us see how a knight moves. Now, this is slightly tricky, so you have to concentrate really well. Okay, fine. So now the knight is in a white square. Okay, it is standing in white square. Now, how it can move is, it can move two squares in one direction. Okay, it can be a horizontal direction or it can go like this, two squares up, two squares down. Okay, like a plus you can say. It can move two squares and it doesn't stop like that. After you move two squares, it can go to the right or to the left. It can move one more square. So let us say like a L, the knight can move. Now let me show with arrows. So now it can move one, two squares to the left and then one more square down or one more square to the top. Okay, so it can move to these squares. Okay, similarly on the other side also it can do one and two squares and then one square to the top or one square to the bottom. So the knight can move to any of these four squares highlighted. Red color I have highlighted, no? So if you can see, it is in L shape. Now it can also go 1, 2 in the top direction and then to the right or to the left. So these squares also a knight can move. Similarly in the bottom direction. So it can come 1, 2, one square to the right or one square to the left. So if you see these 8 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the knight from center, it can move to any one of these 8 squares. It cannot go to all the 8 squares in one turn. Okay, it can go choose only one square out of these 8 possible squares. Now if you see, there is another important factor we can see. The knight is in a light square, white square, but the squares the knight can move, they are all in dark color. So what it means is, from a light square a knight can move only to a dark square. Similarly, let me move the knight to the dark square. Now it is in a black square and it can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these squares, if you see, they are all in white color, right? So when the knight is in black color, it moves to a white square. If the knight is in white square, it can move only to a black square. Understood, Karthik?
Yeah.
So can you tell me how a knight moves? What shape?
Like it moves like a L.
It moves like a L. So it can move two squares to one side and then one square.
Yeah.
To the right or left or up or down.
Like this.
Yeah. So like a L. Very good. So now the other thing we have to remember is, let us say if I have something here. Okay. Now let me put a rook. Okay. We had seen in the previous episode how the rook can move. Now we had seen the rook can move vertically or horizontally. In these directions the rook can move. But now I cannot move my rook like this and go to this square. Now in this it is permitting because I'm using a special board for this purpose. But generally, the rook cannot jump over our own piece or pawn and then move to the next square. So for example, if you have a bishop here, now my rook cannot go here because the bishop is blocking my path.
Yeah.
Okay, so no piece can basically jump over another piece. Okay, our piece or opponent piece, it is not possible. But a knight, what it can do, for example, let me keep 3 pawns like this. Okay, it can actually jump and go to these squares. The knight can move like this, no problem. It can jump over our material or opponent material. So knight is the only piece which can jump over our material or opponent material. Understood? So this also you need to remember. Okay, so we had seen how a knight moves. Okay, and the other thing we can see is when the knight is in center, it can move to these squares. That is 8 squares it can move. So you can see a knight in the center, it can control 8 different squares. Now if I move the knight to a corner of the board, now the knight can move only to 2 squares, right? So if you see L shape 1, L shape 1, right? So it can move only to 2 squares when it is in the corner of the board. Now let me move the knight to slightly towards the center. Now let us see how many squares it can move. So it can move 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So if you see the L pattern, right? So if you see the L pattern, it can move to 4 squares. So what we can learn is when the knight is in the corner of the board, it cannot move many squares. It cannot control many squares. But as the knight moves closer, so here it was controlling only 2 squares, right? But now when the knight has come here, it is controlling 1, 2, 3 and 4 squares. Now let's move it even closer to the center and see how many squares it controls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so what we can learn from this, Karthik?
So when we take the knight like to the middle center of the board, the knight can like
Control
many
more squares.
more squares. Yeah.
Very good. So we should always move the pieces towards the center. Now the center of the board is these 4 squares. Okay, so these 4 squares are very important. So with our pieces and pawns, we should try to control these central squares. Okay, so generally when you develop pieces, develop them towards the center, not to the corner away from the center. We should not develop. Understood? So now we have learned how to move a knight. Now comes the next tricky thing. Generally, we are given 8 pawns, okay, in the board, and the pawns generally occupy the second rank. Okay, the first rank will be occupied by the pieces. The second rank will be occupied by the pawns. The same way, black will also have his pawns on these 8 squares. Now let us see how the pawn moves. Generally, a pawn can move only in a straight line. Okay, only in a straight line. So the rook can also move in a straight line, but the difference is a rook, let us say, it can go forward. Not only that, the rook can also go backward. It can also go back. Okay, all the pieces can go front and back, forward, backward. But the pawns are special because they can move only forward. They can never come back. Okay, so that's why in chess generally they say you have to be very careful when you make pawn moves, because once the make a pawn move, you cannot bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be very careful with the pawn moves. Now generally, like I said, the pawn can move only vertically, and generally it can move only one square at a time like this. Okay, so in chess generally white plays the first move, then black plays, then white plays the second move, then black replies. So it goes like this. Okay, so at a time I can move one pawn, then black will play something, and then I can push this, and then I can push this.
Yeah.
So like this I have to keep moving. Now from second rank I have gone till the 7th rank, right?
Yeah.
So but what happens after this, let us see. Now when I move the pawn to the 8th rank, now this is a special board like I said, but you can never keep a pawn on the 8th rank. It is not permitted. So in these two ranks, the first rank and the 8th rank, you can see number 8 and 1, right? So a pawn can never reach the first rank or 8th rank. It always starts from the second rank and it goes till 7th rank. But when it goes to the 8th rank, what usually happens is it can become any of these pieces. It can become a queen. You can remove the pawn, you can put the pawn outside the board and bring a new queen if you want. It gets promoted. Okay, so pawn has only one value. So it can get promotion to a higher piece.
Yeah.
So now it can, highest piece is 9 value, queen. It can become a queen. Sometimes you can even have a rook if you want. Okay, so rook will have 5 points, or it can become a bishop, which will have 3 points, or it can become a knight, which will also have 3 points. But it can never remain a pawn on the 8th rank.
Yeah.
So what happens when the pawn goes to the 8th rank? What happens?
It could become of any pieces.
Any of these pieces.
Yeah.
It can become a knight, bishop, rook, or queen.
Queen. Yeah.
Okay, but it can never remain a pawn.
Pawn.
So when it is called promotion.
Promotion.
Yeah. So when you promote a pawn into a queen, it is called you are promoting the pawn into a queen. Okay. But if you promote the pawn into a rook or any other piece, okay, if you promote it to a rook or to a bishop or to a knight, it is called under promotion, because instead of promoting it to a queen which has 9 points, you are promoting to a lesser value piece, knight, bishop, or rook. So it's called under promotion.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how a pawn moves generally. Okay, one square at a time. So this is first thing you have to remember. The second thing, when the pawn reaches 8th rank, it can become a queen, in which case it is called promotion.
Yeah.
It can also become rook, bishop, or knight, in which case it is called under promotion. Okay, so these two things we have to remember. Now there is a third way a pawn can move. When the pawn is in the second rank, okay, when it is in the second rank, what can happen is it has the extra option to move 2 squares at a time. So instead of moving 1 square like this, I can also move 2 squares like this.
Yeah.
So from here directly it can jump to the second square. So from second rank, you can see number 2 here, to 4th rank, number 4. Okay, it can directly move like this. So let me look at other pawns. This pawn can move here, possible. This pawn can move here. This pawn can move here. So you see, in the first turn, the pawn can move, jump to 2 squares.
Yeah.
It is possible. Okay, if it is your choice, you can move it to 1 square or 2 square, but only when it is in the initial position.
Yeah.
But if a pawn has already moved, now you cannot jump 2 squares and go here. It's not allowed.
Yeah, only 1 square.
Okay, only 1 square. Once a pawn started moving, it can move only 1 square at a time.
Yeah.
But as long as the pawn is in the initial square, okay, when the pawn is in this square, these pawns can move 1 square or 2 squares.
2 squares, yeah.
That choice is given only one time in the whole game. Okay, now in today's session we have seen how a pawn and a knight moves.
Yeah.
So this is slightly tricky. We also learnt about promotion or under promotion of a pawn once it reaches the 8th rank. Okay, so these two things we have learnt. Then in the next episode we will learn about capture. Okay,
Yeah.
when we learn about capture, we will see the pawn can also move in 2 different ways other than what we have learnt today.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we see the topic of capture, we will learn 2 more new ways a pawn can move.
Yeah.
Okay, so understood, Karthik?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let us end this session with this. And in the next session, like I mentioned, I'll be explaining how to capture in chess with different units. Okay, and if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and also press the like button. Thank you very much.